Bart will become Mr. Burns' new son to inherit that juicy fortune. Will everything go as planned? Will Bart forget about his family?
Soon you'll have a mighty hump. Now, you really are my son.
For the couch intro, the Simpsons are balls that bounce onto the couch. Bart almost bounces away, but Homer reins him in and hurls him onto the couch. It all begins with Homer being bored, watching nothing happening, when suddenly he wins a very special prize.
What do I get? The job of industrial chimney sweep for a day!
Upon realizing that his prize is just a scam, he comes to the conclusion that, yeah, that is a dirty job. But the big guys at the top work even harder. While he chuckles, oh well, Homer, actually. Meanwhile, Burns is enjoying being bathed by Smithers while watching how his workers are exploited. Smithers gets distracted and leaves a sponge on Burns' head. And since Burns is as light as a feather, he's drowning. He remembers when he fired his mom, when he used to shoot homeless people in the feet with a very old gun, and how he fooled some hippies who were protesting against his company and sank their boat. Wow, this man is pure evil. Suddenly Smithers arrives, all sad. He even starts to cry.
Why do the good always die so young?
But his anger revives him, and he comes back to life just to strangle Smithers, which I don't know why I feel like Smithers enjoys that. That same night, realizing that no one will carry on his legacy when he dies, Mr. Burns decides to find an heir to inherit his great fortune. Smithers believes he will inherit everything, but Burns shows him that he will receive a much greater reward.
When I pass on, you shall be buried alive with me.
On the other hand, the family is watching a movie. Suddenly, everything begins to shake quite strongly, which of course is the always loud THX scene. On the screen, Montgomery Burns appears. He places an ad in the cinema, announcing that he is looking for a young male heir to leave his fortune to when he departs this world. The auditions begin. The first one is Milhouse, who has nothing to offer but his love. However, Montgomery doesn't want nerds.
But my mom says I'm cool.
Next.
One of the favourites is Nelson, who arrives at the audition like he was about to steal Montgomery's lunch money. But Burns likes that energy. Next, Martin does an awful musical number. Luckily, Nelson makes him shut up, earning another point.
Thank you. Give the bully an extra point.
Lisa, on the other hand, despite the no girls rule, auditions anyway, but it is quickly dispatched, leaving Milhouse without a plan B. Finally, Bart is encouraged by his mom to audition, thinking that with that money, he could pay for a good university, which Marge fantasizes about is that a man arrives and flies away with her. Bart has some cards with an incredibly dumb speech written by Homer.
I bad want money now. Me sick.
Ooh, he card reads good.
He says that everyone out, but before Bart leaves. Since Bart is the worst one yet, Burns positions him to give him a mechanical kick, which is kind of funny, honestly.
Ow!
Excellent.
As they leave the house, Homer mocks the kick Bart received and tries to lift their spirits of his kids, telling them that they are failures, so they should not try hard in life because it is of no use. Wow, Homer, you're such a great dad. This enrages Bart, prompting him to destroy Mr. Burns' entire house. He throws one stone, breaking one window, then another one, and when they go to see, he is breaking all the windows. Then he decapitates his statues and floods his car at the same time in a very creative maneuver, I must say. Impressed by his destructiveness and how evil Bart is, Burns declares Bart his heir.
Today is the day you become my heir.
The next day they go to the Simpsons' house. Homer and Marge sign a legal document officially naming Bart as Burns' heir. Homer happily thinks that they are already rich. Lisa explains that not while Mr. Burns is alive, so Homer asks if he has heart problems.
Hey.
When Montgomery says goodbye, he tells them that he will go alone to his big mansion because they feel a little sorry for him. Marge tells Bart that he should spend some time with him as way of thanking him. At first, Bart feels uncomfortable, and when Burns offers him anything, Bart asks for a pizza delivered by Krusty the Clown, which he does and charges $400. Later, Mr. Burns shows him he has cameras installed throughout the city, in every home, where Moe is practicing the famous scene from the iconic movie Taxi Driver.
You talking to me? There's no one else here.
Also, we see Homer doing something weird in the bathroom. No, it's not what you're thinking, it's actually eating flowers, for some reason. Back home, Bart tells his family that he had a lot of fun. When they are having dinner, Bart throws peas to Lisa, since he learned form Mr. Burns. Since Lisa complains, Homer scolds her, but gets angry with Bart when he feeds the dog at the table and sends him to his room. Bart angrily yells at him, telling him that this family stinks because they don't let him do what he wants, and Mr. Burns encourages his destructive spirit.
I'll go eat some flowers.
My secret shame.
He escapes to Burns's mansion, who wants to turn him into his living image. Bart gives him a big hug. Homer goes to Burns's house to take Bart back, but Burns does the unthinkable.
He locked the door. I'll show him.
Homer and Marge go to the police, saying that the old millionaire doesn't want to give them back their son, but it was useless. So as usual, they hire Lionel Hutz, the lawyer, and as usual, they lose.
Judge, these won't be ready until Thursday.
You know, we should really stop hiring him.
A week later, Bart invites Milhouse to his new rich room, where he has a lot of toys, but Milhouse has to go back home. Mr. Montgomery tells him he does need him, that he can be his playmate. So they play some American football. So he gives him a sports card that he drives responsibly. His parents, desperate, go with a brain deprogrammer. He tells them that the millionaire brainwashed the boy and he can return to normal, their son. That night, that he is carrying someone in a bag, yells at him that you don't love Mr. Burns. You love Homer and Marge. At Down, he tells them that his son already loves them.
Mom, Dad, I missed you.
We then see Bart and Montgomery watching Itchy and Scratchy laughing a lot. But Bart wants to go home. The old man tells him his family doesn't want him back. They go to the cameras, they show him a video where they say they don't miss or love Bart. But something's off. And it is a fake video. He hired actors to trick the boy.
Hey, you know, we're getting into golden time.
Bart tells him that it seems that the only one who loves him is him, and tells him that he is his dad.
Dad?
We then see, as always, Lisa doing nonsense, scrubbing the Simpson house.
Just trying to fill the void of random, meaningless destruction that Bart's absence has left in our hearts.
Bart is with his new outfit. Burns starts moulding Bart into his own image.
Excellent.
To celebrate, they fire random workers, sending them falling into a bottomless pit. First, Lenny falls in, and then it's Homer's turn. Montgomery tells him it's his opportunity to demonstrate his loyalty, that if he doesn't fight fire, he will take away his inheritance and he will lose everything. But when Homer says, "I miss you, son," Bart decides to fire his legal father instead. Once again, we see the Simpson family reunited, and Homer explains to Bart that what he saw were actors imitating them as they were hanging out with to study them. Then, Homer introduces Bart's new brother.
Cowabunga, dudes.
So Bart didn't become the head of the plant, but one time Smithers did. That day, Mr. Burns was sent to prison, and he didn't have a great time. So if you want to see what happens, click on this video next, but not before hitting those like and subscribe buttons.